Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I got some good news for me this week. I've been struggling back and forth with whether I should buy some battery-powered Dewalt tools for the camp or if I should get a generator. And some of the things that I thought about back and forth was I really like the battery-operated tools because there was such a selection. Table saws, all your skill saws and reciprocating saws and drivers and even down to chainsaws and blowers and things like that. But the downside about battery powered is it seems like every couple of years they change the voltage on them and become obsolete within a few years. The other downside to battery tools is the batteries are super expensive themselves, usually $125 each. And if they last for a couple of years and you need to replace them, there's an ongoing expense. I didn't really want to buy a generator because I didn't want the worry about gas and carburation and oil changes and the noise. But there's some limits on what I can do with each of those things. And I finally made a decision. Home Depot had a sale and I finally pulled the trigger, and this is what I did. I got a generator, and this isn't going to be like an in-depth review or something. This is just kind of a, hey, what's going on in my life and why did I do this kind of video. So I ended up going with the Ryobi 2300 starting watts, 1800 run watts. And I was looking at this and the Honda. And obviously the Honda, I think, is probably one of the leaders in the industry. And it is known for being super quiet, but it's also known for being fairly expensive. Now I felt the Ryobi was a good choice to find some middle ground. This was on sale or regularly priced at $5.99. I did do the credit card sign up where I got an additional $25 off. So for $575, I got into a generator, and the price of a Dewalt battery powered table saw, I want to say, is around $500 to $550. And that's one tool. But with a generator, I can run all of my tools, and I can buy a fairly inexpensive table saw and other tools that I may need and still be money ahead. So the generator was financially the best choice for bang for your buck to provide working tools up at the off-grid camp. I will be able to run a radiant heater in my van during the winter, which will allow me to be up north and use the off-grid property even when it gets cold and I normally wouldn't want to be up there. So I've made an arrangement to have my cabin built for the spring, but that doesn't help me for this year because I'm still not going to be able to spend as much time up there if I don't have a way to keep warm and I don't want to run the van all the time. So I have an oil radiant heater. It looks like an old radiator from the old days from the boiler systems. And that, I think, is 400 watts. And that I've run off of electric, and it keeps the van plenty warm. The thing I like about that heater is it is flameless and it has no carbon monoxide. So I don't have to worry about it catching fire to something or killing me in my sleep because of the carbon monoxide issue. So that is my plan, is to be able to run this. So let's just take a look at it and see what we have here. This isn't going to be an in-depth unboxing. I just want to take a look at it. I haven't even opened it up yet. The rain just quit a few minutes ago, and by the time it quit, it was a little bit too dark in the garage to film, so we're going to be outside here, and it's kind of nice to be outside after being inside all day. There were a couple of other features on this besides just the price that helped me make my decision to pick this unit over the Honda unit. Alright, so we got a little wrench there. I'm not sure what that's going to be for. Directions. Oh. So this unit weighs 53 pounds. And to be honest, I'm not sure how that compares to other units on the market. Obviously I can hold it with one hand. Ugh. So that's nice to know. Oh, oil. Some directions. And it looks like some startup guide. A couple of the things that really appealed to me about this particular unit was the fact that it is Bluetooth enabled, and it doesn't allow you to start the generator remotely, which is a feature I really would have liked to have had, but to me that is not a $500 or $600 feature. So what this Bluetooth does is it allows you to control the generator from your phone on an application, and you can use this app to turn off the unit or to cycle the wattage down, or to see where it's at for, I believe, like energy consumption, gas consumption, estimated time to fuel empty, things like that. So that's pretty valuable, so that I can be in the cabin or in the van and see the status of my generator right from my phone and not have to go outside to look at it if it's raining or 20 below. A couple of the things that really appealed to me is being able to run a microwave and being able to run some sort of heater. The one thing that I can't get out of battery operated tools is I don't have the ability to run any sort of heater. So this is the front of it. We have auto idle. I think that's just a low to idle it down. We have a couple 120 plugs, circuit breaker, parallel kit. You can hook this up to another unit, overload reset. So this is going to be your fuel consumption guide, and I don't have the generator running right now, so this isn't on for how much fuel consumption. And it's nice because it will tell you like you have 3 hours and 29 minutes remaining. This unit is a manual start, which it'd be nice to have auto start or push button start, but again, for $500 or $600 difference, I can hand start it. That I really like is this handle right here. And it's just like a luggage handle. So you can, yep, that's about as far as it comes out. So you can carry it around like you would with a rolling suitcase. Very nice if you don't want to have to lift it up and carry it. Super nice feature as far as I'm concerned. So like I said, this isn't going to be an in-depth review. I just wanted to share with you guys the fact that I finally made a decision and I finally bought a generator. And now I can put to bed all those thoughts about all those cool new tools I was going to buy and save myself a bunch of money by not going with the battery-powered table saws and higher-end tools. Of course, I still have my Ryobi hand tools that are battery-powered, reciprocating saw, skill saw, drivers, things like that. But the ones I was looking at was the Dewalt line. I think they're 60 volt. So there's quite a price difference in those. The other nice thing is when the cabin is brought in this spring, if I, for some reason, want to run electric to it, I can run it off the generator, and that's another use for this. That was a pro versus a con for the battery tools. And overall, I think I'm going to be happy with the decision. This will stow in the van nicely. It's not too large. And from what I hear, it runs almost as quiet as those quiet Hondas. So I'm pretty excited. So if any of you have this unit or a similar unit, go ahead and comment down below and let me know what you think of this unit, if you've used it, or why you prefer the unit that you have. I'm not going to start it tonight just because I don't have premium gas, and you're not supposed to use ethanol in here. So once I get some gas, I'll start it up and we'll see how quiet it actually is.